Young climate activists held talks with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres at the COP-26 Climate Summit in Glasgow on Tuesday. Vanessa Nakate, Agnew Kuna, and Elizabeth Wathuti were among the campaigners to meet the UN chief on the sidelines of the conference. 19-year-old activist Nyuguna, who coordinates the Fridays for Future movement in Kenya, said young people had a meaningful input to bring to efforts to tackle climate change. He felt the meeting was valuable.
People don't realize is that the youth have meaningful inputs to bring on the table, and that is why it is seen as a big thing for me to meet the UN Secretary General as compared to his daily interactions with other bigger people. I feel like the youth are important and bring a meaningful input on the table, and that is why we were on the table to have that discussion with the UN Secretary General.
26-year-old environmentalist Wathuti, also from Kenya, said young people would continue to push the urgency of the crisis. She urged them to recognize the injustices of the climate emergency and act to support those who are most vulnerable to its impact.
We clearly will keep putting on the pressure because we cannot sit back and watch our people and, our people being impacted by the climate crisis, because that's what is happening. And it's clear that nobody seems to recognize the injustices and the heartbreaks that are going into this. And I think that's one of the main things that I tried to speak about at the opening, to tell people to open their hearts, because it's not just about going up there and telling us that the climate crisis is happening, it's impacting people. Yes, thank you for recognizing that it's affecting people, but what are you doing to make sure that the most affected people have a bigger share, they have a capacity to adapt, they have a kind of a same level share as everyone else to be able to deal with the crisis, but that's not happening. It's still not being recognized.
Meanwhile, in Brazil, although world leaders sealed commitments to end deforestation by the end of the decade on Tuesday, the declaration comes too late for swaths of the Amazon rainforest. Brazil was among the countries joining the commitment at COP. Last month, the country had gone further by saying it would end the illegal practice by 2028. The government has been eager to project itself as a responsible environmental steward in the wake of surging deforestation and fires in the Amazon and Pantanal wetlands that have sparked global outrage. However, critics caution that these promises should be viewed with skepticism, and the country's president, Jair Bolsonaro, is an outspoken proponent of developing the Amazon. Before Bolsonaro took office, the Brazilian Amazon had recorded a single year with more than 10,000 square kilometers of deforestation in over a decade. It surpassed that level in each of Bolsonaro's first 2 years.